Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach, as always, joined by Christian Garcia.
What up?
All right.
I bet you're excited. Juneteenth is going to be a holiday, huh?
Yeah, it's already a holiday in my book.
Nice.
Nice.
Although I think you should have to work on that day.
Oh, I do have to work on that day.
No. It's going to be like one of those working, you don't have to work and you get paid holidays.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't it on the weekend this year?
I don't know.
Today is Wednesday.
I don't think it's official till next year.
Whatever. I'll probably have to work. I work on all the holidays except for Christmas and Easter.
That's true.
So, no difference to me, but good one for all the African American folks. That's really good. All righty. Well, today...
Forgive all that noise.
Yeah,
you're going to be hearing a lot of that.
As you may or may not be able to hear. Hopefully it's minimal on the microphones, but they're doing some hammering and drilling and such in the building next to us, so we apologize for that. But hopefully it's not too bad for you guys. We can just hear it because we're live here in the studio.
Sucks.
It is unfortunate. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about time travel. The new Loki series on Disney Plus has been going for a couple episodes now. Deals a lot with the time-space continuum kind of thing. So we thought it would be fun to talk about some of the theories of time travel that pop up in popular culture. So we'll be talking about that today. But before we get down to that, please like and subscribe. Click the little bell button on YouTube. If you're on Apple, iTunes, podcast, or whatever, Spotify, just give us a follow. We really appreciate it. It helps us out. And if you'd like to become a patron of ours, check out patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Lots of cool rewards on there.
Give us that money.
We do appreciate that. Yeah, it helps support the show. And all that information can be found at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty and talk some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, what's your nerdy confession?
I don't know which one I pick. I'll pick a show since I send the picture. I started watching Alone. Have you seen that series? Reality TV.
No,
So
I've heard of it.
They get a bunch of people who are either experts in either hunting or survival, people who basically like to live off the land. And they'll put them in an area like Alaska, and they have to stay there for a few months and survive. You're only allowed 10 items. That's it. And basically, you get like one of those. You have to. They set up their own cameras and microphones and stuff. They have to record themselves every day, and they have to do like confessionals every day.
Sure.
And they have this satellite phone that they could tap out whenever they want.
Okay.
And I started the new season, and they only have 2 episodes out. What the fuck, Netflix? What are you doing to me? Like, I want to binge watch that shit. I want to see who the fuck is gonna lose. But the previous seasons were pretty good. Netflix only has like a couple of the new seasons, but they don't have all of them.
Right. Yeah, I see they do that sometimes with like TV shows and stuff. They only get the rights to certain seasons or whatever.
But like, I'm sure they have like all those episodes. Like, why are you putting just 2? Now I gotta wait.
Yeah.
What is this fucking Disney? Like making me wait for my fucking episodes? No, I want to binge that shit.
That's the worst. One thing I do really like is I don't know if I mentioned it before on the show, is that the Apple Plus shows, when they first come out, they give you 2 episodes at once.
So every week is 2 episodes.
No, just the first week. But at least you get a little something
Yes.
extra, you know what I mean? So you're not completely left standing.
But it's cool. I don't know if you'd survive. I think you'd do all right because you go hunting and stuff. But
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't at all.
I mean, it would be unpleasant. How long do you have to be there? A month?
No, like
3 months?
months. Like I think 3 months.
It's a big. I mean,
Their biggest issue that everyone has is they don't get enough calories to eat. Like all of them
Yeah.
start losing a bunch of weight. In one season,
that wouldn't be such a bad thing.
this one guy took down a fucking moose
Yeah.
with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Well, yeah.
I didn't know how big fucking meese were. They're huge.
Mooses are fucking gigantic. And I think they're responsible for more deaths in Alaska than grizzly bears are.
Jesus.
Yeah, because they just, first of all, they're big as fuck, and if your car crashes into them, your car is destroyed with you in it.
Fucking moose walks away like whatever.
Yeah. It's, I think the biggest problem for me on that would be like, what am I going to, like, for 3 months or whatever?
It's like, what am I going to jerk off to? What am I?
I don't have that problem. I love nature. No, but it would be like you got to leave your job and home for 3 months and just be like not doing anything.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
And you could tell it gets
And
to
it's
some
like
people. Like
there has to be a cash prize of some sort. For
yeah, I
this,
think it's like $500,000 or $1 million.
$500,000 for 3 months off work because you're gonna lose your job. No one
Get a new one.
no one has that much like freaking vacation time saved up. Yeah, that would be kind of rough.
There was one guy.
I mean, a month seems like a good reality show.
Nah, they want you to go fucking.
They want you to go crazy.
One guy was a hunter, and he was like talking about, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up these traps. I'm gonna do this, and he was talking shit about other contestants. He said, oh, like, fuck that hippie person. They're probably just gonna go hug a tree. And he's hugging a tree. I love you, tree.
Yeah.
He fucking first hour of being there, slips on a rock, breaks his ankle, tapped out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you get for talking shit.
That's funny. Yeah, if you were a real man, he would have just fucking taped that shit up with some sticks and vine ropes that he made.
Yeah.
And just fucking have a gimpy ankle for the rest of his life.
Sticks and fucking tree sap.
Yeah, exactly. My nerdy confession, it's guitar related this week. So I'm sure a lot of you know by now that I like to play the electric guitar. In fact, I wrote the intro to the show. So
no slap at the bass.
I do slap at the bass occasionally, though I haven't played as much as I used to. My bass is actually at my friend's house. He's had it for years. But I do enjoy it. But anyway, so May for me was a rough month for guitar shit. So I had previously bought a brand new electric guitar, a PRS Custom 24, if anyone's interested, which is a guitar I've been wanting for a long time. I bought that back in March or something like that. Got a nice bonus from work, so I was like, I deserve this. And so that's been awesome. And then I was like, and I need to start putting together my guitar pedal board, which basically is a board full of effects pedals. So you got distortion, overdrive, delay, reverb, that sort of stuff.
Our Patreon goal should be to make enough money where you can buy that super expensive ass fucking thing.
Oh yeah, the Klon Centaur.
Yeah.
That would be fucking sick. Please, patrons. But anyway, so I've I was putting together my pedal board, and I was like, I really need this one certain pedal. I need like a good reverb and tremolo pedal. Reverb makes it sound like you're playing, in a hall, in a room, in a outside. It affects how the echo of the guitar sounds. So it makes it sound like surf music uses a lot of spring reverb, right? And then tremolo is a fluctuation of the pitch. So it's like whoa, 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 and you can dial it in and have it go faster, lower, whatever. Anyway, I found this nice pedal called the Strymon Flint, which is it's a high dollar pedal. It's like a $300 guitar pedal, right? And I was like, ugh, that's so much, but it sounds so good. So I bought it, and then it finally came in, and I got it, plugged it in, defective.
What?
Yeah, I was really pissed, and I
gave you a new one, right?
Yeah, so I ordered it off of reverb.com, which, basically it's like it's kind of like Amazon but for musical instruments. So different guitar shops can sell their stuff through it,
Okay.
or individual people can too. And the guitar store I bought it from, they're like, yeah, the pedal companies pulled all of our stock. They said there's something wrong with it.
So why'd you sell it to me, you fucking asshole?
I know. So I contacted the pedal company, and Strymon, they were super cool. They were like, yeah, we had a bad batch go through that we just, all these stores reached out to us and like, hey, what the hell? So send it in to us. We'll send you a new one. And lo and behold, they sent me a new one. Real quick and easy. So they were real stand-up people. But as that was happening, I went and I took my guitar to my friend Anthony's house to show him because he hadn't seen it in person yet. And when I pull it out of the case, I notice on the back of it, it's got 3 cracks in the back of the guitar.
And you had just bought it.
I just bought it in March. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I just changed the strings on it 2 days ago, and there was no cracks. And so after doing a little research.
It was moisture or something?
Yeah, so there, oh my God. So there's, with guitars, because they're made of wood and they're sealed in like a lacquer varnish kind of thing, changes in temperature and humidity can negatively affect them. Though I only went from here in San Francisco down to Milpitas, which for those of you not in the California Bay Area, it's not a crazy difference though. It was maybe 65 here in San Francisco and 75 down there in Milpitas that day. Not crazy. And it was in its bag and everything. But all the cracks kind of originated from these screws on the back of it. So I'm wondering if maybe it was like a combination of it being too tightened down at the factory and just...
Did you get a new one?
So I reached out to PRS, Paul Reed Smith Guitars, and they are going to service it under warranty because they have a lifetime warranty. So I'll be out of a guitar for a month or so, maybe, while they fix it. Who knows?
But when you get it, we should get a new intro song. But
I should get it back eventually. So rough month in May. Also, my car broke down driving home from this podcast, which I don't know if I ever talked about.
No.
But that's all fixed now,
You just texted me, and I offered, like, you need me to pick you up? Like, nah, I'm just going to...
Nah, I got AAA, but it was fine. I got home okay. And it turned out it was just a bad sensor that made my car think it was broken, but it wasn't. So, yeah, May was rough. June so far looking up, a little bit better aside from the construction extras.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
But so far so good in June. So, hopefully better things ahead. Alrighty, well, we're going to take a short little break while we
go slap the shit out of these people.
The shit of the guys next to us. And take a word from our sponsor. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about some time travel. So we'll be right back. And we're back. All right.
Now, if we could do time stuff, I would speed the fuck up of what they're doing next door so they could hurry up and stop affecting the sound here.
Yeah, I agree. Or go back in time all the way to when they were babies.
Just murder them
like Hitler. All right, time travel, Christian. What do you know about it? Give me the basics.
The science behind it?
The science behind time travel, go.
I believe we can go forward in time if you go through the speed of light, but you can't go backwards.
We're always going forward in time, Christian. We just jump forward a couple seconds now.
But not the speed of light. So the whole relativity thing. I remember reading Stephen Hawking's book, and I thought I understood it, and when I didn't understand shit.
Yeah, when he wrote The Brief History of Time, first of all, not that brief. Second of all, very confusing.
Yeah. I understood, I feel like, kind of basics. I understood to know I'm dumb.
Yeah. I understood it enough to be like, this is him dumbing it down for us.
Yeah, and
it's still crazy. And so, like, okay, I get it. Yeah, I guess the theory is that we cannot go faster than the speed of light for some reason.
Yet.
I don't know the reasoning for it. But as we get closer and closer and closer, time kind of dilates. So basically, it slows down. So you will be experiencing time normally, but the world around you will be going much faster.
Or it could be backwards. You're experiencing
who knows? I'm not a scientist, okay?
The world outside is going normal.
And then there's the whole black hole thing where, like in Interstellar, where they go down onto the planet near a black hole for a few hours and they wake up and the guy upstairs
I knew you were going to bring that up, and I put it on my list of movies.
So good.
But did you get it?
Oh, I got it, bro. When he's in the freaking the lattice work behind the bookshelf. Yeah, dude. Big brain shit. Big brain.
So stupid. I'm telling you, I mean what I said. He's a fantastic director. What a terrible writer. You should just direct. He doesn't have enough no people. He just has surrounded by yes men.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell him no. I'm going to tell him, you go for it. You go for it.
Needs a couple. Okay, maybe we don't.
Okay,
do that.
How about what if we do this, though? I think time travel is handled very differently in different movies and comic books and things like that. We have like the classic Back to the Future rules, where you can go backwards in time and forwards in time. And then the things you do backwards in time, affect not only your present, but your future.
I know that, time travel is impossible, but that makes sense to me. It totally makes sense.
I mean, to me,
I don't know about the whole butterfly effect thing. Like,
Yeah.
if you,
Well, that's kind of what happens in that is, like he goes back and like punches Biff in the face or something, and his dad turns out to be an asshole, or however that movie went.
his dad was more confident.
Yeah, he was more confident, which made it so that Biff like worked for him.
Then Biff was a little bitch.
But then he dropped the almanac back there, which might seem like a small thing, but then that turned Biff into a huge asshole.
Yeah, again.
So I mean, I think that's your bare bones time travel, where it's like most lay people can understand that, oh, like if we went back and or like we'll get to this in a second, but 11/22/63 had a slightly different version of that, but you could really see the butterfly effect.
One of the few Stephen King books I've yet to read.
Oh, really?
Yep, I'm going to.
Oh man.
See, I like the whole idea like Time Bandits, where a bunch of like,
I don't remember Time Bandits.
You don't remember Time Bandits?
I know the movie Time Bandit, and I know I've seen it. I just can't tell you the plot for it.
It's a bunch of dwarves who worked for God, and they stole like this map where like portals open up, and it'll take you to different times, and just going in time, then just stealing shit because they felt they weren't compensated enough for the work they did.
Because they were time bandits. I get it.
That's a great movie. You should watch it.
No thanks.
I think this is one of those few good bad movies you would like because it was one of the Monty Python guys.
Oh, okay. Maybe it'd be funny then. Then there's Terminator rules, right? Now, do you remember in Terminator? Basically, there's no going back to the future. There's only going back to the past, and you have to go naked.
Yes,
that's a big part of it. No clothes in Terminator time travel.
Nope. You come in a big circle
with lightning,
and
melts. Then you're kneeling,
and it melts down everything around you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to be like, "What year is it?" Even though you went into the time machine.
And then you definitely have to send your friend / dad.
Then you have to bang your own mom or something like that to make sure that you're born.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. Don't get me wrong. Terminator is an amazing,
excellent
fucking movie, but the whole premise doesn't make a lot of sense. Because if Reese never went back, then John wouldn't have been born. But John was born.
And he sent Reese back. He's like, dude, you have to go back, and it's okay if you bang my mom. In fact, it's essential.
I need you to fuck my mom.
This is going to sound like a weird request, but you're my friend, so please bang my mom.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Also,
I just imagine like he told him last minute, like, hey, you got to fuck my mom. What? And he, like pushed him into the machine.
Love you, Dad.
Yeah.
What?
Just totally last minute.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one, like, because they could have just written the movie as is, without Kyle Reese being John Connor's father,
and then it would have been fine.
It would have been fine, but then they threw that monkey wrench into it and created this time paradox.
Yep.
And it's like, why'd you do that?
Don't get me wrong, fucking love Terminator.
I love it too. Yeah,
great movie.
It's great. But it's just such a weird thing to add into that thing. And they keep sending robots back to murder him. So that's like the whole, if you could go back in time and murder Hitler, would you do that kind of thing?
But then today,
John Connor is Hitler.
Well, I guess to the robots.
Yeah, he's the robot Hitler.
I guess
so. He rounded all those robots up and disposed of them.
Just melted them, I guess.
Yeah, in the lava.
Yeah, just the thumbs up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for calling someone Hitler. Doesn't that usually get you canceled?
No,
that's not true. All these Republican people have been throwing out Hitler.
No, what you can't do is you can't say that Jews are robots.
There we go. That's the one.
You can't say that.
Well, you just said it. But you said it as an example.
I said it as an example of what not to say.
That's fair.
But yeah, so that's kind of an interesting one. So that does have the butterfly effect where you're trying to change the future. But one thing that was kind of interesting about that one, that you see in the later movies, is that no matter what they did, they could not avoid Judgment Day.
Skynet kept happening.
Skynet kept happening. So it was kind of this inevitable place in the future that they were just pushing back the date kind of thing.
Honestly, the last amazing one was the second one, and that ending made sense. Okay,
the last one wasn't that bad.
It was okay.
The newest one was probably, outside of Terminator 1 and 2, the newest one was probably the best one.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I enjoyed
than 3, better than Salvation or whatever.
Where they switched it where it was no longer John.
Dude, what was what was the one where John Connor was a fucking robot and they ruined it in the title or in the trailer?
I don't think it was the one with Christian Bale, right? It was the one after.
No, that was Salvation, which took place mostly in the future.
Salvation was okay too.
Yeah, it was fine. It was just.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember much of it. I think my brain.
I want to say, is it Dark Fate or is that the newest one?
That's the newest one. That was the one where they took a human and made him almost into a fully robot.
They like cybernetically enhanced her.
Him. It was the dude from Clash of the remake of Clash of the Titans. I remember him.
Oh, that's yeah. So that's the one we're talking about where they ruined the thing. I was talking about the newest movie was the chick where they cybernetically enhanced her or something like that.
Oh yeah, they did the same thing to her. Yeah,
it's something similar.
Didn't she have to like recharge too? Like if she exerted too much energy?
Yeah, she had to like eat sugar or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, something weird. But yeah, I think that's kind of an interesting take on it. It gives this like consequence to traveling in time. Like once you go back there, you're stuck back there.
That's it.
That's it. And then, of course we see that later on in those Terminator movies where Arnold Schwarzenegger has just been living on Earth the whole time as a robot, like with an upholstery service.
Was he banging that lady?
Yeah, he had a lady that he was banging.
So that means they gave him a dick. I guess they would have had to. They had to surpass, or I guess meet all human requirements.
Oh yeah, meet MEAT, right?
I wonder, did he bust nuts? No, I guess if he didn't eat.
I mean, I'm sure he busted something, but he didn't have sperms. It's just some sort of like
grease,
some sort of transmission fluid or something. Now, and if we look at 11/22/63, so now you have not seen this, so I won't.
Or read it.
So I won't ruin it too much. But here's the premise of it. So
I know the premise that there's a thin, or at least what in the Stephen King universe, a thinny is like where a thin line between parallel universes where you can go through.
Right. Yeah. It's basic. Yeah. It's a rip in the space-time continuum essentially, which yes, in the Dark Tower universe is considered a thinny, and it does make it seem like that's what it is inside this book. And what happens is it's like you go down in the basement of some diner, and it's like, I forget exactly how they described it, but you like, as you were walking down, if you turn sharply to the right, just at the right step, you would go through this, rip in the space-time continuum, and you would show up back in 1959 or something like that. And it was every time you go down there, you come back at the exact same time in the exact same place.
I think I started reading the book, and wasn't it? It was like in a restaurant, and the owner would go there to buy meat because it was super cheap, and he'd come back and sell it at the cheapest price, and it was great, and people loved it because the cost was so low.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the owner of the diner would like go back there with like $5 and buy like 20 pounds of meat because it's 1950s money, and then he would sell like excellent hamburgers at his diner for like, $2 or $3 or whatever, because he got the meat for so cheap. And they're like, how does he do it? And that's kind of like,
that's the only
that's
part
the big reveal of how he did it, is he time traveled. But what was really interesting about it was you always go back to the same day and time. And so eventually through, circumstances, this gets passed on to the main character of the book. And he decides if he has this amazing power to go back in time, he could maybe do one awesome thing and really change the world for the better. And so he decides he's going to save JFK.
That would have pissed off the CIA. Sure.
And yeah, of course, most of the book assumes that Lee Harvey Oswald did everything. But Stephen King did a lot of research about the whole thing. And so
about time traveling? Nice.
No, about the assassination of JFK.
Yeah, Stephen King definitely does. Was it soft magic? He has like
100%.
No hard.
Right. He's the most flaccid guy out there. You heard it here first. But it's because it's based in magic. Like you could really do whatever you want. It's mystical rather than scientific. But what was interesting about this is, okay, he goes back. I forget what the date he goes back to, but it's like 1959 or 1960 or something like that. And so JFK gets assassinated on November 22nd, 1963. That's the title of the book, 11/22.
Holy shit, he stayed there for 4 years?
So yeah, so he did it a little bit at a time at first, just as like proof of concept. So he stayed there for like a month, and then he goes back, and then he goes and it sees that.
How do you explain to your family and everyone else, hey, where'd you been for fucking 3 months?
No, but that's what's crazy is when he comes back to his present time, like no time has passed.
Oh, but I'm assuming his body still ages. Like, yo, bro,
His
why
body
do you
still
look
ages,
so,
yes.
Why do you look so fucking old?
Right, exactly. So his body still ages, and so when he first comes back from the past into his present, any changes that he has made are reflected in his present. But then if he travels back in time again and comes back, it's reset.
Huh.
So it's a very...
Oh, so he has to do it and then come back and stay permanently.
Yeah, exactly. If he wants the effects to stay. So that's why he plans this big thing where he's going to stay there for like 4 years and like follow Lee Harvey Oswald and like all this shit. It's really interesting. And there's some crazy consequences for what he does. So that's all I'll say about it, so I don't ruin anything. But very, very cool, very interesting, take on time travel. And it really, as I was reading it, it really like made me think like, oh, okay. So like how you could totally manipulate that. And I'm more on the side of the guy who got the hamburger. Like, not to say I would just get hamburger, but like just doing little things and farming them over and over again. Like, something like in Destiny or Diablo,
yeah,
where you're just doing the same thing over and over again to build up this like wealth or whatever.
You just go and rob the same bank over and over
and
over
exactly.
again. It's fine. They're insured.
Yeah, exactly. And what are they going to do about it? And then you keep all the money back here.
Yeah, there you go.
So, or I would just go back and just invest in like, something that turns out to be crazy now in the side.
I don't know. I was going to say like Apple, but that shit wasn't around.
Apple was not around in the 50s, unfortunately.
IBM could have done that.
Yeah, IBM should have been around. But who knows how the fucking stock market worked back then.
Know.
You had to go down there on the floor with tickets and stuff. You always see that in old movies. Like, yeah, I got 4 shares of GM right here for a nickel.
Little turny thingy? No, that's the tax
guy.
That's
the tax guy. Like, what is that? But yeah, pretty interesting take on time travel. One of my favorites, in fact, because he explains it very well, and it was an interesting thing to think about. Like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, what are they doing over there? Things happen in it, and he'll mess up. Or like something, gets away from him, or something terrible happens maybe a year into it. And so he goes back and resets it, but then he has to do all this stuff over again that he had been doing. It's a very mentally taxing means of time travel.
All right. So time travel, I one of the movies I picked was Groundhog Day. What would you do, Cody? Live the same fucking day.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about Groundhog's Day.
He was always traveling back one day.
Right.
Regardless of what he
did. He always woke up to the Sonny and Cher song.
Yep.
I've got you, babe.
That shit would drive me insane.
Yeah.
I'd probably murder a different person every day. It doesn't even matter. I mean, you're not going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would...
I mean, should I be concerned that was my first idea, that maybe I should just murder someone?
Whoo! Yeah, and it's like 2 days into it, you're just murdering people. Like, damn, that did not take long
didn't even
at
wait.
all. He did it the first day he went back. He just assumed he was in a Groundhog's Day.
It's like, how did you know they were going to come back?
I didn't.
I didn't.
Oh, fuck. I guess a big part of it would depend what day it is, you know what I mean? And where I'm at. So like in the movie, he was in a town doing a story on Groundhog's Day.
Yeah. Punxsutawney. Right?
Yeah, Punxsutawney, yeah, which is where Punxsutawney Phil lives, the groundhog. And it's in the middle of winter with a huge storm and whatever. So
can't leave.
And you can't leave. Your options are somewhat limited. So in that case, I mean...
I definitely would have done what he did and learned an instrument.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was today's time and I had the internet, I would just try to learn as much as possible. Just like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Might as well become smart.
I mean, some of the drawbacks to that are, first of all, you can't watch any new shows or movies.
No.
Because they're not coming out.
Well, I mean, unless
it's something that's out already.
Yeah, then you can watch all of it.
You can catch up on all your backlog, you know what I mean?
I can finally catch up to Star Trek.
Yeah, there you go. Watch all of Star Trek. Except for the new stuff when it comes out. It won't come out. But I think learning a cool skill would be one. Like for me, I really want to learn woodworking. I think that would be a really fun thing.
Can you imagine for like me, like the next day, like you've been learning all this stuff about woodworking, and all of a sudden the next day, hey Christian, let me make you some shit, and you're like, I didn't even. When the fuck did you learn that?
When did you start doing that? Yesterday.
Yeah,
yeah.
I did it all in one day.
I would definitely. I'm not proud of this, but I would definitely try to have sex with a lot of the different ladies of the town.
Makes sense.
Just because one thing that's cool.
I mean, he did do that too. He was like,
totally did.
This tactic didn't work. Let me try this approach.
Yeah. Yeah, he nailed it. He whittled it down until it was like you had the perfect thing to say. And like that's the dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? See, man, just like you're running lines, like there's absolute no pressure at all. That would be great. And then honestly, it depends how long you're in there. Maybe I'll fuck the dudes.
Yeah. Why not?
You get burned out, you're like, Jesus Christ, I need to feel something.
No one's gonna know.
I do a lot of drugs.
For sure. I don't know if that tiny town you'd be able to get.
Yeah,
it.
so see if it was in that town, it'd be hard to find like the heroin guy in that town. You know what I mean?
Heroin with zero consequences.
Ooh, God, the dream. The dream. Where can I get a pound of cocaine?
It's like, Jesus
Christ. In the hospital, and you wake up the next day. Ooh, no hangover or anything. Yeah, I would drink. I would get shitty like a lot because that's the worst part is waking up the next day all hungover and stuff, That would be an interesting one for sure. I mean, eventually I'd like to think that I would be like Bill Murray in that movie and eventually become a better person from it.
Right. Just try to help.
But who knows how long I'd be in that loop.
It did take him a long fucking time before he decided to do that.
Yeah, they never really said in the movie how long he was looping back and forth. But you can assume it was a while.
I definitely would have taken that Groundhog for a car ride. Like he did.
Fuck yeah. Take the wheel.
Oh, dude, that's what I would do. Just fucking Grand Theft Auto shit all day.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just beating up hookers and stuff.
Oh, I was thinking more of stealing cars and seeing how long it would take for a car.
Me too.
Cop to catch me.
See if you can get up to 5 stars. Yeah, I think, that would be a really interesting one. The one thing is, that movie does not show off very well is like it would be really fun for a while.
Yeah, I mean I guess kind of when he was like eating everything in the restaurant, but that's
yeah, it showed him like having like 2 fun days and the rest of it he was like, oh, now I'm trying to find ways to kill myself.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know how long it would take me to get to that. Like I can keep myself entertained for a long time
in today's world. In the 90s,
that's true. The 90s were a different time. Dial-up internet would make pornography a hard thing to find.
Just had to come like one line. Boop,
boop, boop, boop.
So you kids don't fucking know about that
shit.
shit.
You don't know anything about it. Buffering forever. Oh God. And not even like 4K 60 frames a second. It was like 260p. It was a rip from a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. What are other ones? I mean, there's the whole the movie Looper where he goes.
I have Looper on here.
Goes back in time to kill himself.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I remember that movie. I remember liking it, but I don't remember a lot of the details, to be honest.
I remember it was crazy how they made him look like a young Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Then they had like prosthetics on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, they gave him like a better chin or something.
I was trying to pick obscure movies. Army of Darkness. Have you seen Army of Darkness?
Yeah, I've seen Army of Darkness, where he goes back to the
medieval times. Fucking killing deadites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was kind of a fun one, except for the fact that his chainsaw still worked and he was able to find things to make the chainsaw work.
Oh, he made a robotic arm.
Yeah, exactly.
He made a metal hand.
That's right. That actually worked.
That worked.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's stupid.
He just so happened to have physics book in his car and and a chemistry book.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, that was kind of an interesting one. I mean
if he would find oil, he would just have to find a way to refine it, right?
Yeah, like everyone knows how to do that.
He had his chemistry book.
Yeah, I'm sure they have how to refine gasoline.
Is that like the fucking
Chapter 7? Of course.
Like the 3rd week of chemistry.
Oh my God. Okay, so now, if let's take a specific time travel method. Let's say Back to the Future. You got your DeLorean. You can go backwards, forwards in time. Would you want to go back in time, and when would you want to go? Or would you want to go forward in time?
I'll keep it simple. I'll just go back in time when I can get the winning... Or, I'm sorry, I would go into the future to get winning lottery numbers, and then I would go back in time so I could win it.
That'd be fucking sweet. And then that would be the end of your time traveling?
What else would I fucking need? I'd be rich.
That's true.
Just buy anything.
God, that would be fucking sick.
Or go back in time when, like, Tesla and Google were like nothing.
Yeah.
Drop a bunch of money on them.
I would go back to earlier this year and buy AMC.
Yeah,
with all the money I have.
And then boom, there you go.
There you go. That would be
I'm not trying to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Unless it's Groundhog Day that I'm fucking murdering people. I'm just trying to, be rich. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid plan that they don't really address in a lot of these things. Like Doc Brown obviously was not super rich in Back to the Future.
No. Although they had that briefcase with different money from different time periods. So
yeah, but it was one briefcase and it was a bunch of different time periods. How much could really be in there? Like 10 grand?
Maybe.
Know? Like what I would do is, go back in there and like the sports almanac, like Marty had the right idea. You just don't buy a sports almanac. You're right. Just go into the future, a week and buy a lottery ticket with that. And then it's like, oh, you screwed up the timeline. It was like, well, maybe I screwed up a week, but.
But even then, like, how am I harming someone by, winning the lottery? I didn't hurt nobody.
Right.
No one won that day anyway. Like,
yeah, exactly. I won, Sorry for this guy, maybe pay for his kid's college.
Yeah.
So you don't feel so bad. But then, yeah, you just have a great rest of your life.
I feel like the lottery's rigged, man. You ever notice it's only old people that win? You never really hear of like an 18 or 20-year-old fucking winning the lottery. It's always like 70-year-olds.
Most 18, 20-year-olds don't play the lottery.
I don't know.
I
did. I was like, fuck it, I can do this now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just a poor people tax, You're just selling them the dream and then they just don't get the dream.
Yeah. Fuck the lottery.
Whatever.
Unless I win it, then
yeah. Unless I win it, but then I have to play it to win it. I think for me, like, yes, I would do that because being rich sounds fucking awesome. The other thing I would do though, it'd be really sick is if we went back in time and started the first podcast and just fucking kicked Joe Rogan out. That'd be fucking dope.
So, if you could go back in time to kill Hitler, why wouldn't you go do it?
Why wouldn't I go do it? Well, I think the thing about doing that, first of all, killing a baby is rough. Like, it doesn't matter who it is at the moment. That's a baby, even though it's going to be a shithead later on, a real rascal. But I think the ramifications that could have
of how many Jews there would be, is that what you're getting at?
No, no. But think about it, like if we hadn't entered into like World War II, like the world hadn't entered into World War II, like the United States would not be as industrialized as it is today. So like,
so you're like, baby Hitler live so that our economy can be booming.
Well, I'm just saying that like,
I'm looking out for my American people.
Well, he didn't kill any Americans, not directly. No, but what I'm saying is like that's just one obvious effect to me just thinking about it for 5 seconds, right? So what happens for the other stuff that would have been even more affected by it? Because if you think about it, now this could be for or against it. Who knows exactly? Because this is obviously all.
What side are you on, Cody?
No, I'm just saying. Now, if you killed him, like, would there have even been a Second World War?
Oh, that's true.
Or would someone else have risen to take his place? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that could be pretty cool because then all the people who died in World War II would not have died. But then also there wouldn't have been, like, this arms race in technology. So we might come back and there's no internet. You know what I'm saying?
No computers.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Enigma machine didn't exist. So it's crazy. I would be hesitant to do something that drastic. I guess if it was Back to the Future rules, where I could instantly come back, see what had happened, and check out, make sure everything came out was okay, then maybe I would consider murdering Hitler.
And then, but if you went forward and saw everything was, oh shit, this is worse, you'd have to go back in time to stop yourself from killing baby Hitler. So
yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up, because now have I made a different skewing timeline because I did that? Or is it where you can go back to the exact moment and you like replace yourself and then you just not do it?
Then you'd have to murder one of yourselves. Unless you can convince yourself that, hey, it's a bad idea. I'm just going to let
Yeah.
Just gonna have to let that.
I mean, if
mustache
I
baby
ran
live.
into a guy who looked exactly like me and wearing all my same clothes and everything, and he told me not to kill baby Hitler, I'd be like, all right, maybe I won't. Okay.
I guess I'll go back.
Time travel's real. Obviously, this is me from the timeline where it got all fucked up. So, but maybe that's just what Hitler wanted. You never know.
I wonder what would happen if you were to try to take some technology or just bring some like genius with you. It's like, all right, let's go to like fucking medieval times. Let's just
drop Elon Musk back in the Renaissance
and just like let's have this genius just teach these fucking primitive apes like technology, and maybe we could just see how much more advanced we got.
That would be pretty interesting for sure.
Although we shouldn't give it to Europe. They
like just go back, just go back in time and hand Steve Jobs like the iPhone 12 and be like, hey, here you go.
Yeah, do it faster.
Yeah, I'll take that for just 51% of your company, please.
I'll give the iPhone to
Steve Jobs. Do whatever you want with it, but I want controlling interest in Apple. That's a good name for it, Apple.
You take that phone, go back in time and give it to Bill Gates. And be like,
no, then it would run on Windows and be all shitty. No one wants that.
Never mind.
I would definitely beat Bezos to the fucking punch, though. I'd be like, hey, how about we make a website and sell books on it? And they're like, oh, that's crazy. People love books. And then it's like, then we just sell everything on it with robots. And then we hire people for less than minimum wage.
We make them pee in water bottles, not give them breaks.
I feel like one of the like frivolous things I would do, I would go back to like the 60s and 70s, and I'd see Led Zeppelin play a live show. I'd see Jimi Hendrix play a live show. I'd go to Woodstock. Like I would do all those.
That
really
actually
fun things.
does sound fucking amazing.
Like, and I feel like there's so many people at those things,
and you're just trying to get laid with all those crazy hippie girls.
No, you don't want to do that. Then I end up banging my granddaughter. Like that's scary. I mean, I guess you could go back there and take Viagra. Go to the future and get the male, what's it called, birth control pill. In the future. Jesus.
Yeah, and then
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, sounds like they're really ramping up next door, huh? But yeah, no, I mean, because there's so many people, it'd be hard to like butterfly affect it, right? It'd be hard for there to be like terrible lasting repercussions. You're just there. You're just another guy in the crowd watching Jimi Hendrix set his guitar on fire at the Monterey Pops Festival.
You know what I like to do? Go back in time to see how the fucking pyramids were made.
Oh, yeah.
So I can just come back and tell her, hey, fucking assholes, there was no aliens. Like, these brown people just knew how to do shit better than you do.
Here, I'll do you one better. You go back to the pyramids time. You see how they're doing it, right? And then you write it down in hieroglyphics or whatever and hide it under a rock somewhere in Egypt. And then you go back to normal time. Look what I found. This is how they did it. Verifiable proof. And they're like, oh, shit.
I'm a fucking genius.
Yeah.
What I found.
Yeah, exactly. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, I think it would be really fun. Or like the Easter Island heads.
Yeah.
They just love big head things. There was this one guy in the village named Francis or whatever.
Very Easter Island.
I don't know what an Easter Island name sounds like. And he had a huge head, and everyone thought that was hilarious. So they made all these statues of him to bully him. I mean, it turns out they were just a bunch of assholes.
They were just a bunch of jerks.
Yeah. They're like, look at this asshole with his gigantic head. Maybe, it might be interesting to go back and save Amelia Earhart, figure out what happened there.
How? You would have be in the plane with her?
Hey, maybe hang a ride around Bermuda.
Maybe don't
or whatever.
Don't go around that area.
Yeah, exactly. Just maybe if something goes wrong, just land the plane. Just don't be a hero. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think there's a lot of things you can do going back in time without really impacting too much. The cool concerts, maybe like a cool sporting event.
Ideas was fucking genius idea. I feel like if you went and even like if you did something dumb in that concert, there was so much.
Yeah.
Like in Woodstock, there was so much stupid shit going on. It's not going to affect.
So much drugs there. No one remembers what happened there anyway. You know, just you would remember it. I think that would be a really fun one. Now, what if you could go forward in time, a la Back to the Future, and just like, what futuristic thing would you want to see?
I don't know. I feel like we're ruining this fucking planet. I told you I watched Seaspiracy, and I'm like, oh, we're destroying the fucking planet. So I don't know if I really even want to go 10 years into the future to see how much we fucked this place.
What if you go really far in the future and everything's perfect, and they're like, yeah, we just figured out how to make gasoline that turns into nothing. And you're like, oh, so we were worried for nothing? They're like, yeah, it was crazy. And then you're just like, you just come back, you're like, well, guess I'm buying a faster car.
I highly doubt that's what the future is going to be, but that's very wishful thinking.
I mean, I think you could go to the future and then, find, hopefully it's not a Mad Max, like, nuclear wasteland thing. But hopefully you could find like some technology that could like, solve the coronavirus or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I would do that. I would just go and get the freaking, vaccine and go back a year and a half.
I would maybe fuck with people like my friends. Like, if I was the only one that could go into the future, I'd go in the future, come back, and just be like, yo, fucking aliens, hella took over.
Yeah.
They're, like, fucking screwed.
Woo, don't go over there.
Yeah, nah, that shit's fucking pretty
Yeah.
bad.
And just give them a very specific date.
Yeah.
Be like, dude, fucking July 7th, 2027. Dude, just be somewhere else that
Just
day. That's
fucking
all I'm saying.
Stay home and cover your butthole is all I'm going to say. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Stay home and cover your butthole.
Just aliens probing.
Yeah, they're digging for gold, if you know what I'm saying. I think it would be really cool to like go forward enough if we ever have like a spacefaring colony or something like that. I think that would be really cool if space travel ever became like normal.
But I feel like if we started actually space traveling and not coming back to Earth, I think humans is going to start looking really fucking weird. Like, they're not going to be able to build muscle up there, really. I don't know.
Well, you obviously haven't read The Expanse, in which people lose all their muscle mass and they get really tall because they live in low gravity.
They look fucking weird.
But then when they come down on planets, they get all sweaty and fucked up because they can't hold themselves up.
Yeah, they'll look like the aliens from Star Wars, the ones that made the clones,
Ooh, the Camino.
Yeah.
Caminoans?
Believe
Caminos? I feel like if you call them the Caminos, that's kind of racist sounding, Look at those Caminos over there.
That fucking Camino over there, making those clones.
Those fucking Camino eyeballs. Yeah, I think that would be an interesting time to see. Hopefully we get there. Who knows? I mean, it would be really depressing if you go so far forward in time, like in H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, where like humans have morphed into freaking...
That's one that I didn't have on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Morlocks and...
the fucking brain person or whatever that controlled them.
Yeah, what was the...
I don't know. I just remember in the movie...
the good people who lived in the sunshine and then the bad people who like lived underground.
And wasn't there like one brainy guy that like controlled all of them?
I don't remember if that was in the book or not, but it was definitely
in
the movie for sure. But yeah, that would be depressing. Or if you go forward and it's just Mad Max time.
No, I feel like Idiocracy would be pretty accurate of what.
Oh yeah, Idiocracy. So that's one form of time travel we didn't really talk about, which is just being frozen. Like Walt Disney's doing that right now.
It's just his head. It's just his head.
Well, he's obviously waiting until we can put him on a robot body so he can exterminate all the Jews.
And then buy all the other companies.
Yeah, well, he's already doing that.
Control the media, and then says like, "No, I didn't kill anybody. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, well, they're pretty close. They already own ESPN, so.
Weren't they recently trying to buy DC?
I don't know. That would be fucking crazy. Marvel and DC owned by the same company.
They can finally make good movies.
Oh man! Any other good ones? Notable
good ones. I have Terminator, Endgame, Time Bandits, Bill and Ted: Excellent Adventure, Time Travel through a fucking phone booth.
Yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine I have on here. Army of Darkness, Groundhog, Planet of the Apes, Flight of the Navigator. That's an '80s movie that you probably haven't seen.
I love Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, really?
With the little puppet guy, his little friend.
I love
then the ball.
I love
they were supposed to remake that, and Jack Black was supposed to be the voice of the Navigator guy.
I would have preferred just get Pee Wee Herman to do it again.
Well, he's a child molester, so
allegedly, he's never been.
Okay.
I actually enjoyed Pee Wee Herman movies.
Yeah, a lot of little kids did too. That's how he got him.
He was acquitted.
Yeah. Well, he was also like jerking off in a theater.
Yeah, but
it was not one of the jerk off.
It was a jerk off theater.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. He was just doing what everyone else is doing. He was just so happened to be famous.
Okay, well that changes it a little bit, but he still molested children, or allegedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I like that movie.
That's all of them that I have.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, Kung Fury, but I don't know if you would really consider that a movie.
Yeah, it was kind of like that extended fan movie.
It was a 30-minute movie that got like super funded on Kickstarter.
Right. Yeah, that was fun. That one and Bill and Ted's and Hot Tub Time Machine are just kind of, more comedic. Like the rules aren't really laid out. Like in Hot Tub Time Machine, they spilled like an energy drink that had uranium or something onto the time machine, onto the hot tub. That somehow did it.
Actually, you know what? What Bill and Ted did would seem kind of fun, going back with historical figures, hanging out with them, talking to them.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Though, the only problem I see with stuff like that is like, if you went back to Civil War time, and like, I understand there's less people and less security, but how easy would it be to hang out with frickin' Abe Lincoln? I mean, he's still the president. You know,
I mean, he was shot and killed pretty easily. Like, security wasn't that fucking rough.
No one just thought of that yet.
He's just fucking in a movie, not even a theater. Like,
enjoy your show. We'll be outside waiting for you whenever you're done.
You're not gonna check me for weapons? Nah, I mean, the president's here. He's fine.
Who would bring weapons to a theater?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a show. Just so lax. You're like, God damn, this was. It's a real surprise more people didn't get assassinated. It was so easy.
Didn't Roosevelt get shot? And like he kept giving it, like, during a speech. I believe in the middle.
I think it was Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
I think that is true. That sounds familiar. But Abe Lincoln did not continue. And
that'd be interesting if you stop Abe Lincoln's killer. I wonder what happened.
The next day he's like, you know what? Fuck the slaves. And he just reverses.
Oh shit!
He's like, oh no! Now I have to kill Abe Lincoln.
You go back in time, give the guy a better gun. Here is an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Use that.
He's like, don't jump from here to the stage. You're gonna hurt your leg, and you're gonna say some weird Latin shit, and then they're gonna catch you and kill you. Yeah, that would be so funny. Well, it wouldn't be funny. I mean,
it's funny in this setting.
It's funny if you made a dark comedy movie about it, for sure. But it's, that would be terrible. Yeah, it would be very interesting, to hang out with certain people. Like, speaking of Juneteenth, talking to Martin Luther King, even though he's a super religious dude, it would be interesting to hear his kind of thoughts. And then, like, I don't know, do you tell him about Black Lives Matter and George Floyd, or do you just like say,
I would not want to break his heart.
I would say, hey, things are better. They're
not as good as you.
They're not perfect. They're not perfect, but they're better.
I would not want to break his heart. No, I'm not telling him.
So there's this guy named Rodney King. What year was that? 94?
Something in the 90s.
Yeah. The cops beat the shit out of him. But I think that it would be interesting to talk to some of those philosophical people, We're not necessarily philosophical, but like important historical people. Like Abe Lincoln would be very interesting. Albert Einstein would be really cool. Stephen Hawkins before he got all fucked up.
Yeah, it turns out he's a real asshole, dude.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a fucking garbage person.
Yeah.
He was really smart, but then again...
But when he was in the robot chair, like he banged some other chick or something.
Really?
Yeah, he like broke... Didn't you watch that Theory of Everything movie?
No.
That's what I took from that movie. Like his wife left him and he went for some younger, hotter wife while he was like, meh, show me your titties. Yeah.
He had to do it in the robot voice.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that was funny about that movie, though, when they show him the robot voice for the first time, it was like, oh, it's got an American accent. It's because he's a British guy. Also, I found it was pretty weird. I've been thinking about Stephen Hawkins a lot lately because I watched this new Black Hole documentary on Netflix.
That actually popped up on my feed, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's one guy who's a super asshole in it, though, but I think you'll like it because he's such an asshole. But when Stephen Hawking is in it before he passes away, and I'm like, dude, they really fucking did this dude dirty. Like we have Siri and Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, and they still kept him with the same robot voice. Do you think that was a choice?
I think he shouldn't have been such an asshole to so many people. Maybe someone would have changed the voice for him.
Yeah, it's weird. We can't get it to sound any better. Sorry.
He's like, you have it on iPhone. It's like, yeah, but we can't do it for you. Sorry, but
yeah, but that's the software doesn't match up with the chair. You
got Windows. This is iOS. It's not gonna work.
New drivers or whatever. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for time travel. I think we'll do a full review of Loki once it's complete. How many
halfway.
episodes?
We could do halfway next week.
Yeah, we could do maybe halfway.
No, it would have to be the week.
How many episodes is it supposed to be?
6.
6.
They're all 6.
But they're 1 hour, which is nice. Or 50 minutes.
I mean, they're gonna have to do some big reveals in each episode for at least moving forward, since now there's only gonna be 4 left.
Yeah.
And I really think this is gonna set up the next phase.
Yeah, I think Kevin Feige said that it is. It's going to do more for the MCU than any of the other shows.
Kind of has to.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you think about it, WandaVision, basically turned Wanda into the Scarlet Witch, made her super powerful at magic, and brought the Vision back to life.
Yep.
So that did a lot for the MCU. So if this is going to do more, pretty impressive. I'm excited.
Well, Falcon Winter Soldier gave us a new Captain America.
Not my Captain America. Steve Rogers is the only Captain America. They actually gave us 2 Captain Americas, if you think about it. 3, if you really think about it, because it was Falcon or Sam Wilson, I should say.
Secret agent or
U.S. agent.
U.S. agent.
And also, what's his name? Black Captain America. I can't think of his name.
The older gentleman who.
Yeah, dude, he was awesome.
He was awesome.
I can't.
It would be great if we got a series on his missions and stuff. That would be a great series.
So his grandson, who was there in the show, becomes Patriot, who is one of the leaders of the Young Avengers, and they are kind of setting up the Young Avengers because Cassie Lang, Ant-Man's daughter, is in the Young Avengers as well.
Well, and then they have Hawkeye's daughter, and then
is Tony Stark's daughter or whatever.
Is Wiccan and his brother?
Wiccan Speedy or
I don't remember.
Speed. Yeah. They're all in it too. So they are setting up a Young Avengers. So we very well could see a brief little montage of how Patriot got his powers and hit the old Captain America shield. So that would be cool. But yeah, let us know what you guys think.
What would you do? Fucking time travel.
Yeah, time travel. Choose your movie rules and what you would do, and let us know down in the comments. We'd really love to see it. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's probably not ever going to happen. So it's just fun to think about sometimes.
Unless the aliens bring us that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
We'll get some more alien episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all like that shit. That episode did pretty good on YouTube.
For this episode, I'm just going to put time travel is real in the thumbnail and see what happens.
Perfect.
So if you listened this whole time and thought that's what it was.
Gotcha,
bitch. But while you're here, like and subscribe. We appreciate it. Click the little bell down at the bottom. Check out all of our info at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. And if you wanted to, you can become a patron of Nerds with Friends. God damn.
Even in our closing.
You become a patron going to patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. And thank you so much to all of our patrons who constantly support the show. And we really appreciate you. You should see their names rolling above me. Here they are. And there they go. Christian, I hope, hope Groundhog's Day doesn't happen to you.
You know what?
If this show has taught me anything, it's that you are one repeated day away from murdering people.
You know what's interesting? I was just thinking about that right now. Like, how fucked up would it be? It's like you're like on your 100th, or you're like you were doing.
What if it just stopped?
Yeah, exactly. You're like 5 years into doing this, and then you're just like dismembering one fucking person, like guts everywhere. You're like, no, guys.
And then it ticks over from like 11:59 to midnight.
It's 11:59, my guys. It's not going to be a big deal in like about a minute. It's fine. Don't even worry. Just wait.
And then you're just in
jail.
And it's midnight, and then you're like, no, it's going to repeat. Yeah. And you're like, this guy is fucking crazy. It's fucking
insane. Like, you don't understand. I've been doing this for a long fucking time. That's not what I meant it. I didn't mean it that way.
This is the first person you murdered? No, me, no, but in this timeline, yes. What? Oh my God.
This is going to sound crazy, but hear me out.
Dear Lord. That would be the worst. That would keep me from doing anything crazy bad.
Because you don't know the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
When it's going to end.
Yeah, the worst that would happen to me is I just have like 11 ladies mad at me because I never called them again.
Or the worst coke and alcohol hangover.
Oh, yeah. That'd be rough. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Put it down in the comments. We'd love to hear your responses. Christian, as always, thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome. I won't murder you. I promise.
Thank you. I hope that didn't have to be said, but I appreciate it anyway. And to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.